Now, in the midst of the second wave of the pandemic, with the country in recession, how can Nigeria make available 5 million jobs annually? Adewale Ajadi, Public Affairs Analyst, joins us via Skype from Abuja to look at some of these issues. Mr. Ajadi, thank you very much for joining us on News Now. Let me start by asking, do you think it is actually possible to create 5 million jobs in Nigeria within a year?
That would be a great challenge. Thank you for inviting me to speak on this issue. Well, it certainly would depend on the partnership between the government and the voluntary sector. And the business sector. The business sector is going to be critical to creating the jobs, but I think that creating self-employment opportunities is also going to be critical to expanding engagement in the labor market, especially if we move the informal market and support it to become more formalized in the areas of agriculture, in the areas of digital economy, and in the creative industries like films and music.
Okay, so in specific words, what would you ask the federal government to do? Like, what advice would you give the federal government to be able to make this a reality?
Well, I think I have about 5 things. One is to engage the labor market information that we get and providing employers and people in business with critical labor market intelligence. Who's coming into the labor market? What are the issues? What are the job opportunities? What are the vacancies? And that means that we have to guide schools in what kinds of capacity that they have to develop and the skills. We need to also focus on craft and vocational capacity to make sure that those are accredited and there are standards for that, so that people can be self-employed and they can develop the kind of quality crafts that engages the market. We need to also engage in agricultural processing. We can create agricultural processing clusters so that people can take agricultural produce and turn it to longer-term food and capacity. We need to also engage the cultural industries. The kinds of investment that we do with agriculture, we should do it with the cultural industries, whether it's music or film and other similar kinds of production. And then we need to tie ourselves closely to the kinds of infrastructure development that the federal government is doing at the moment. So the kinds of locations that they are creating, railway industries, they can put innovation hubs and digital hubs around them. They can create opportunities for young people to create industries and then create campuses around that. And those kinds of interventions by the government helps the private sector to take the opportunity and grow exponentially for young people to get into business and be employed.
Mr. Adewale Ajadi, Public Affairs Analyst there. Thank you very much for speaking to us on News Now.